you're gonna do a demo, you want to do around 3 songs is usually a good thing to do. 2 could work, but it seems like 3 is kind of a magic demo number. You just have to have the time to do it in the studio. You have to have, you can't do it in one day, for sure. I mean, one day is too quick. I've had bands want to do like 10 songs in a day, beginning to end, and it's like, dudes, that's almost impossible. But we have done it. We've done it seriously, because we've had a high school band. It's like, okay, we know it's not going to be a record, but we just need something to give to the clubs, and at the same time we want to get all our songs down just so we can hear them in some good form, so we do it down and dirty. 10 songs being at the end of the night, everybody is fried and the engineers' ears are shot because you have to mix it that same night, so it's like, it's crazy. So, you know, to do 3 songs, well, it's usually a couple days of studio time, and, you know, I don't know if our rates, I don't know if I want to say what our rates are, because it does fluctuate a little bit, but you know, it averages about like $700, $500 a day for the studio with the engineer. So it's going to be somewhat in that range. We have 2 studios, so it varies. So you're going to have to, you know, at least spend, you know, $1,000, I would think, to record it at minimum. So save up those dollars. You know, that's where it's about, you know, a little bit of networking with other bands, or, you know, you go out and see a local Minneapolis band that's, you know, one of the bands that's been around for a while, and go talk to them. Most bands are approachable. Go talk to them after the show and say, where did you guys do your record? Or what would you suggest? We're going to go and record. Where would you suggest? Who is somebody that, you know, we want to do it for real, or we don't want to waste our money? Definitely word of mouth is a good thing, because that's where I'd say we probably get, and I get probably 75% of the work that I do. Call studios, ask everybody you know, ask older people that have been around that have probably recorded, or everybody seems to know somebody that's in a band or has a suggestion. Just and nowadays, of course, with the internet you can go crazy there, and hopefully, you know, all the studios have a website, and you can go to that, and then you're just going to want to talk to them and feel them out, and make sure people aren't BSing you, because that's a big thing in the music business. Is I get so many wannabes, and I get people that have went to some studio and they'll tell them one thing, and then it turns out a whole nother way, and they feel ripped off. And you know, that's one thing that I never want to do, is what I present to a band, that I follow through with it, that I don't BS them. I tell them the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts once in a while, but that's where, you know, you have people bands call up different studios and feel them out, and just, you want to get a good vibe from people, make sure they're for real and they're not all like rock star on you, and give you the, we'll make you a star if you record here, because I don't know if I could ever say that to anybody, because you'd never know who's going to make it. I don't know if I've ever hired a session musician that's been somebody that's just sent me like a CD or something. It's always been somebody I've met. I've met them. They've been in a band that's recorded here, and I saw, like, man, that drummer's really good. And I've even suggested, like, you know, hey, could I hire you for a session, because I just saw they were amazing. And a lot of the times, the people that are in a band and are new to it, they're going to do it cheaper, because they can't, you know, because you can get them, and they're just happy sometimes to do it. If you want to be a producer, it's going to take you years to really be a producer. You better play an instrument. If you can't play an instrument, you're going to have a tough time. How are you going to tell somebody that's out there playing the piano that one of the notes is wrong in the chord they played? Because you're not going to have a clue. Because if you might have be a person that's real lucky and you have a good ear, but play piano, play guitar, sing, play as many instruments as you can, take lessons, take piano lessons, take all the lessons you can, and be really good with learning about music and styles of music, and because a lot of times you just have to take whatever genre of music is around, because you need to have clients, and sometimes people are lucky and can specialize to work with a certain type of music, but I overall like to work with lots of types of music, so I really want to know all the genres really well so I can take anything. Sometimes I definitely work with a lot of rock, and that's probably my bag overall, but at the same time I like working with a classical piano player. It's cool, it's very fun. But learn an instrument, very crucial for a producer, and read, go on the internet, there's so many resources out there nowadays. Read books by George Martin of the Beatles, or there's a lot of books by producers, or even just bands, how bands have records about them. The classics, Led Zeppelin, The Doors, whoever. Read books about how they made their records, how they made it, so you know history, so you have some background, because if you're going to work with a band, then they want to feel that they're working with somebody that knows more than them, is more knowledgeable, and that this guy is the dude that knows stuff, and that's how you get work. If you want to work in a studio, produce, engineer, as I've said, it's tough. It's really tough. It's even tougher, I think, nowadays, because there's so many people that want to do it. It's in the media everywhere. Most people that are making probably a lot of the records that you buy now are people that have been around doing it for a long time. A lot of those probably didn't go to school. They didn't go to school for it. There wasn't even probably MTV when they first started music, a lot of them, because they started because they were huge music fans. They weren't in it because of, you know, American Idol, you can have your 15 minutes of fame. They were in it because they were truly loved music. And not saying that there isn't people that love that now, or people that do American Idol, might be people that do that, love music that much, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of people that don't, like, that aren't in, their heart isn't in it. And if your heart isn't in it, you're just not going to make it, because it's too tough. It's too tough of a business. You'll give up because it's so tough.